Randy, I'm a huge fan of all teachers. I think teachers are underpaid, underappreciated, undervalued. But now it goes a step further. They're trying to eliminate the existence of the Department of Education. Why, if it doesn't make a difference you're a Republican or a Democrat, is dismantling the DOE going to be such a disaster for our country?
So first, it's a disaster symbolically as much as it's a disaster in reality. Think about a country whose president basically says as their first acts, I'm getting rid of education. What does that say about the future? What does that say about, take all the things that Republicans believe in, entrepreneurship, ingenuity, creativity. How do you say to a country, I'm getting rid of the one department, the smallest department in the federal government, the Department of Education? Now, on the facts, this is what the Department of Education does.
Yes.
It is about opportunity. Forget about all these other words. What the Department of Education does, sorry, I am a civics teacher.
No.
LBJ, 1950s, he was a teacher in Texas of disproportionately Mexican-American children. And he saw them come into his elementary school without shoes, in total poverty, but they saw the school as their salvation. And what he brought to the White House with him, that was part of the war on poverty. White kids, black kids, Mexican-American kids, was let's find ways to level up opportunity, to give kids food, to give kids tutors for literacy, to have paraprofessionals, to have reading specialists, to lower class sizes, have federal money to do that. The same in terms of kids with disabilities, IDEA, have federal money so that kids with disabilities are not in the basement anymore. So it's federal money that disproportionately goes to red states. That actually is opportunity. So when somebody says DEI, it's opportunity. It's so we can create that ladder of opportunity. It's so we can make sure that kids can succeed. Poor kids, kids with disabilities, kids who want to go to career tech ed, kids who are first-generation college goers to get some scholarship money. That's what the Department of Education does, and that's why you're seeing across the country people saying 90% of the kids in America go to public schools.
Yes.
They know what Title I is. They know what IDEA is. The federal government does not control education. The states do. Local school boards do. This is about opportunity. That is why so many people are so mad about it, because they're just taking opportunity away from kids that don't have it. So billionaires, kids of billionaires, they have it. They go to private schools. Everyone else, 90%, go to public schools. Don't take away their opportunity.
So let's stay on the facts.
Sorry,
no,
I'm really angry about this.
No, because this
I'm
is what
really
people
angry.
need to hear.
I taught kids in Clara Barton High School in Brooklyn, New York. Virtually all of them got Title I funds. I taught AP Gov. One of the things that they just cut was the We the People competition, which was taught in ruby red districts like Van Wert, Ohio, and deep blue districts like my district. Why, if we need civics, would you cut the We the People competition? It's $11 million. Why would you do that?
Because they want the people to be ignorant. They want the people to not have a proper basis of education, and they want to make sure that the disadvantaged stay disadvantaged, which is why what you said is important for us to reiterate here too. The Department of Education does not control the curriculum of your kid's school.
No, in fact,
it's local. It's local and state.
In fact, again, some facts.
Yes.
In 2015, right before Donald Trump became president the first time, there was a bipartisan coalition that got the Education, the Elementary and Secondary Act changed. So the Department of Education controls virtually nothing. It basically, your local school board and the state education department of your state control everything from curriculum to graduation requirements. The department is a supplement. It helps deal with opportunity to help level things up.
So let's also stay on the facts. Trump can't just do this. Linda McMahon cannot just get rid of the DOE. It takes Congress to be able to approve this measure. What is the AFT doing right now to try to protect against those types of moves?
So, we have Congress is going to be extraordinarily important on any number of issues in the next few weeks. One, there's the budget issues.
Yep, next
Two,
week.
It's next year's budget issues. So what we're seeing Speaker Johnson doing and Donald Trump doing and Elon Musk doing is basically taking a hatchet to opportunity. So if you combined the federal funding for education that basically goes to poor kids and to kids with disabilities, with Medicaid funding, with food assistance, you're basically saying that the entire 21st century and the middle of the 20th century should basically be pushed back to what we had in the 19th century. That all the things that we've done to level up opportunity, to make sure that families can eat, to make sure that families have medical care, to make sure that families have this education opportunity fillers. That's what Congress has to do. They have to be the bulwark. They have to keep that. So, yes, we're going to go to Congress and say, don't give up the Department of Education. It takes 60 votes in the Senate to do it. But equally important is looking at the whole thing to say what we did from FDR on is to say every family in America should have a shot. And we're to level it up to make sure that they have that shot so they can have their American dream. Yes, the billionaires should have their American dream, but we need to have fairness and growth in the economy. We need both. And so we're going to Congress to basically say, don't gut education funding and don't gut the entity that actually makes sure that things are fair.
Randi Weingarten, on behalf of my 10-year-old daughter, on behalf of me as I sit here and I remember the names of all of my teachers that were there to give me a helping hand, I want to say thank you. Thank you for caring for all the kids, no matter who they are and where they are, and for making sure that they have a future.
Thank you.
Thank you for your advocacy. I appreciate it.
Thank you.